All right, so you're Bryce Thomas, and Mr. Thomas was previously in court, entered pleas of guilty in cause number 24 DCCR 0389 to the third-degree felony offense of prohibited weapon, cause number 24 DCCR 0390, also a third-degree felony of possession of a prohibited weapon, cause number 24 DCCR 0391, pled guilty to the state jail felony offense of theft of a firearm. Cause number 24 DCCR 0392, pled guilty to the lesser offense of indecency with a child by exposure, also a third-degree felony.
In a Texas courtroom, 19-year-old Bryce Thomas stands before the judge, his fate uncertain, facing for felony charges, including theft of a firearm and indecency with a child. Thomas has already pled guilty. The judge reviews one of the largest packets of jail incident reports ever submitted, 35 pages of behavioral issues behind bars. Tensions rise as the court weighs the danger posed by a young man with a stockpile of stolen law enforcement weapons. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to this channel for more true courtroom moments and legal deep dives.
For the period of time and put them on probation for the other one. I would ask that if you are going to send him to the penitentiary, that maybe in reference to the sexual offense, that you do place him on probation, so that you can have some accountability for him once he got out for a period of time. That would give the court maybe whether or not he's learned his lesson. Now, as you peruse through the 35 pages of incident reports.
Thomas's defense attorney paints a picture of a misguided youth, young and dumb, caught up in dangerous behavior. He points out that stolen law enforcement weapons were returned anonymously to his office. Perhaps suggesting remorse, the court is asked to consider a split sentence, time in state jail, followed by probation, but the judge pushes back, with dozens of jail infractions already logged. The question looms large: can this defendant be trusted to follow court orders once he's released?
Young, dumb, just being in jail at a young age and not really knowing that. I got write-ups.
Yeah, but once you get several write-ups, the whole point of growing up is to learn from your mistakes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So if you keep getting write-ups, then you can't just say I'm young and dumb, so I keep getting write-ups. I don't disagree that you're young and dumb, but this is ridiculous. I know our jail cannot wait for you to get out. Cannot wait.
The prosecution takes a firm stand. Assistant District Attorney Coleman shifts focus from jail misconduct to the crimes themselves, breaking into patrol cars, stealing guns, and conspiring with a 16-year-old. He describes a chilling arsenal that included a modified fully automatic weapon. Photos submitted in evidence show the alarming firepower amassed by the teens. Coleman urges the court to make an example out of Thomas, not just to punish, but to protect the public from what could have easily turned deadly.
Fully automatic weapon. He was conspiring with another juvenile, a 16-year-old, to steal the weapons, which a photograph is attached to my sentencing memorandum if you've seen it. This was nothing less than an arsenal that these kids amassed, Judge. I shudder to think what could have become of these weapons if they would end up in the hands of other criminals, if they could have been used against law enforcement. Your Honor, long gone are the days where there's a low caliber Saturday night special that these kids use, in some type of a crime. They are loaded for bear with fully automatic weapons. I'd ask the court to make an example out of this defendant. He benefits from not having a criminal history.
Grave concern. The judge addresses the nature of the weapons. These weren't hunting rifles or collectibles. These were high-powered firearms, modified to inflict maximum harm. The court is clearly disturbed. What are y'all doing with all these weapons? The judge asks, exasperated.
Period. If I sentence him to probation today, I don't know that I can make that consecutive. So I think
I believe you can, Judge, and if you need to recess this proceeding, I can get you case law in pretty short order. I think you can.
Because when would it start?
It will start after he finishes his period of incarceration.
Okay. So whatever I give him, if I do prison, and then I say it's consecutive with a probation. And does it matter if it's a straight or a,
I don't believe so either, Judge. But again, I'm happy to get you some case.
no, I appreciate.
The audacity of breaking into police vehicles stuns the courtroom. It's only the second such case the judge has seen in over a decade, and yet Thomas offers little defense, except to admit he was young and dumb.
The idea, again, we've done it sometimes. I mean, what are y'all doing? What are you doing with all these?
In Texas, a judge
Not
can
shooting
sacrifice.
people.
Sir?
Not shooting people.
Not shooting people yet. What are you shooting? Why would you have these? What are you getting these to shoot at? Just to be tough and say you have guns? That's all that's happening with these guns on the street, is y'all are shooting at each other, at other people, at houses, at cars, at whatever.
After hearing arguments from both sides, the judge makes a pivotal decision. For the first 3 felony cases, including theft of a firearm and possession of a prohibited weapon, Thomas receives prison sentences totaling 7 years. These are not light penalties. The judge explains that the extended time reflects both the seriousness of the crimes and Thomas's extended pre-trial detention. This is not just a warning, it's a reckoning, and it's only the beginning of what lies ahead.
So long, and a 5-year sentence really isn't going to amount to much. Cause number 24, DCCR 0390, also finds sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time finds you guilty of possession of a prohibited weapon. Sentence you to a term of 7 years in the Institutional Division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will also receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. In cause number 24, DCCR 0391, finds sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time finds you guilty of the state jail felony offense of theft of a firearm. Sentence you to a term of 2 years in the state jail prison. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody.
The court isn't finished. In a strategic move, the judge handles the final charge, indecency with a child, differently, though. Finding Thomas guilty, the judge defers proceedings and places him on 10 years of probation.
I think it has to be deferred. Hold on. Yeah, it has to be deferred. Okay, so I'm going to go back in that cause number, which ends in 0392. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, I'm going to defer all proceedings, and I'm going to place you on probation for 10 years. That will run consecutively to the other cases. So that probation does not start until you get out of prison.
Crucially, that probation won't start until after he serves his prison time. It's a rare and deliberate structure meant to monitor his behavior long term. If Thomas violates probation, he could face an additional decade behind bars. The message is clear. The court is watching closely. The judge urges Thomas to change, to grow up before it's too late. He warns that parole won't come easy if the defendant continues his current path. The court imposes mandatory conditions, sex offender treatment, drug tests, fines, and full compliance with probation. Thomas is also handed a written notice of his lifelong ban from possessing firearms. It's a sobering moment. The weight of his decisions, past and future, hang heavy in the air.
Okay, so you have waived your right to appeal. In these cases, I'm going to hand you those certifications. I'm also handing you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgments entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. Firearm is a legal term, and you should read that written admonishment I provide you to see what devices qualify as a firearm. If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long that lasts, you can talk with Mr. Burbank. All right, good luck to you, sir. You can go back with the bailiff.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Thomas is escorted out of the courtroom. The judge's words still echo. You want to change your life. You'll have time to figure that out. The sentence was harsh, but not without hope. In the justice system, consequences are certain, but redemption is possible. Will Thomas take the opportunity or waste it? Only time will tell. Thanks for watching. If you found this case as intense as we did, be sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more real courtroom drama.